Okay, I'm starting right now. Did you know that economic regulation to save the environment will be more helpful than you recycling? My editorial, Going Green But Getting Nowhere, claims that being green as individuals will not save the environment at all. Instead, an economic policy of cap and trade would be a better solution because it would force economies to learn to trade without emitting any pollutants into the environment. I originally thought this economic policy of cap and trade would legitimately solve our growing environmental crisis, for sure. But after looking at the opposite views of this matter, I am convinced that the cap and trade policy is not the correct way to solve our environmental crisis. Today I'll be talking to you about the cap and trade economic policy and how it will not solve our economic crisis because of different demographics of people, skepticism of people about theories of climate change, and how these two problems can lead to legislature making no change at all. The first problem with cap and trade system is because of different demographics. According to the Romanian Journal of European Affairs, it says that in regards to European cap and trade system, it gives Europe the chance to be an example to the international regime. This statement, however, cannot happen in other countries such as the United States because of different demographics. This is mainly because of the people of the United States tend to be more self-centered, and when it comes to the way they want to live their lives, and they really wouldn't want law-making legislatures to get in the way of them making potential money. Which leads to my second point, which is a problem of cap and trade that intertwines with the first problem, because a democratic nation will ultimately vote legislators into office to make decisions that are in favor of their views. Recently, there has been a relative skepticism among people about global warming or climate change, and if it actually even exists. David Brin of Skeptic Journal admits himself that I too find some parts of global warming theory unclear, ill-supported, or poorly explained. Any complex field contains gaps. With the growing philosophy of voters in America thinking that climate change is not real leads to a decrease in anti-climate change lawmakers. Which leads to my final point, being that the third economic problem with cap and trade is a result in the previous two problems, in that it will take too long for the policy to be effective, therefore causing legislature to make no change at all. Roger Martella of the Carbon and Climate Law Review says that the Obama administration has sent mixed messages over its willingness to pursue cap and trade programs under the Clean Air Act. This article goes on to say, in later paragraphs, in paraphrase, that climate change laws are stalling in Congress due to the anti-climate change lawmakers that are getting voted out of office, therefore making no change because they both cancel each other out. So, in conclusion, you can see that the proposal of an economic policy of cap and trade will lead to ultimate failure because of different demographics of people disagreeing on how society should operate, skepticism among common people about climate change or global warming even existing, and how two problems combined can lead to legislature making no change at all. Now, if we could all agree on the same structure, then this policy could take place, but unfortunately there has to be a better alternative.